weekend series, final home game for the Wolverines. Tyler Creer's here with me.
Hey guys.
Senior night for Evan Cole. I was kind of wondering why J.J. Overton's not getting recognized tonight, but Evan Cole, graduate student from Georgia Tech, will get the honors tonight on senior night. Utah Valley looking for the sweep, had the 78-74 win on Friday night. And really, if Utah Valley wants to stay in the discussion for the regular season title, they need a sweep tonight to set up a big weekend series at Grand Canyon. Tyler, you were here last night. What did you see? What are your thoughts? And we know the Wolverines struggle on Saturdays, so what do you expect to see tonight?
Well, last time was a big-time win for Utah Valley. It looked good. UTRGV certainly frustrated them with their style of play. There were some guys who thought that they weren't getting some friendly whistles. And so I think really, UTRGV did a good job of limiting Jamison Overton in that second half and Trey Woodbury in the whole game. So I think Utah Valley is going to need to rely on those two guys in what is a big game for the Wolverines. They need to win this one to stay in the hunt for that WAC title. They've struggled on Saturdays. Can they pull together? They know the importance of this game. You talked to Coach Mark Madsen about it last night. I've been talking to a few of the guys. They know the importance of this game. They've got to go out there and they've got to show it tonight.
And for UTRGV, it's only their fourth conference game, their second game away from the state of Texas. Last night, it really came down to some late free throws that Javon Levi missed, as well as just a couple of technical fouls on Levi. Unfortunately, that was just the worst possible timing late in the game. But UTRGV had more offensive rebounds than Utah Valley did, and they hung around. And the defensive pressure created those opportunities. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. UTRGV, like I said, I don't know if they have a shot at winning the regular season. I don't think so with the math. But they need a win here tonight as they go to New Mexico State on Tuesday to face the Aggies. Speaking of the Aggies, they take on Tarleton State a little bit, about 20 minutes. Aggies looking for their first sweep of the season. Dominated last night, 78-51. Shot nearly 60% from the field. Hit double-digit three-pointers. It was over early, to be honest with you. I don't know, that's one of the games that I think Aggie Nation has been waiting for all season long.
I think we all have, Kyle. This is the New Mexico State that we expected coming into the season. And it's been a tough go for them, as everybody knows. So I think that, last night was kind of their, all right, here we go. We're back. We're playing how we were expecting to play, 5-6 months ago. So got to take care of business again tonight, and I fully expect them to do so. I think they'll get the sweep. They'll start to capture some momentum heading into next weekend. And a big matchup, too, on Tuesday against UTRGV. So, and I believe that one's taking place in El Paso, correct?
Yep. No, yeah, it's at the Don Haskins Center on the campus of UTEP. So, not at Eastwood High School this time.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be a nice adjustment for the Aggies. And then, what is it? They get to finish their season at the Pan American Center, right?
Oh, New Mexico State will play at Dixie State next weekend as they rescheduled that opening series that they had in conference play for next weekend and the season because both had an open date. So if you have any questions, send them to us right now through Twitter or Facebook or wherever you're watching this because we can answer them right here. We see the questions pop up. I think the big thing is New Mexico State, people don't realize this, but the math is there. The math is there for the Aggies to possibly win the regular season. I don't think it'll happen, but if they get some help like tonight from both UTRGV and Seattle, there's a possibility that the Aggies could win the WAC if they win out. So, New Mexico State, everybody thought they were down and out. It was just a down year and stuff like that, but they played well Friday night. If they play well again tonight and get some help, man, there is potential for the Aggies to, shock the world. So
that's how this year's been. It's just been a whole lot of craziness, really. And if that were to happen, that would just be remarkable, honestly.
It's like you said, 2021 has been crazy. So what would be crazier than a team who didn't get to practice fully had to move to Phoenix for 60 plus days, was on pause multiple times, then got the chance to go back, practice at their own gym, had to play games in El Paso, and then now they could possibly win the WAC.
That would just be so on par for this year.
It really would be. I guess it shouldn't be surprising if that happens, because it would absolutely be on par for tonight or for this year. Anyways, let's talk about Seattle and Grand Canyon. I don't know what it was. Shots weren't falling, but last night it was a defensive battle in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle got the best of Grand Canyon, 61-57. Seattle went over 2.5 minutes without a field goal, but Grand Canyon went over 3 minutes without a field goal last night to end the game. Darian Trammell had another really solid performance. The two big men from GCU dominated like I thought they would, but they got no help from anybody else. So that's going to be the question. Who's going to help the GCU big men tonight?
It's got to be Javon Blackshear Jr., right?
Well, he only had 5 points last night.
He's got to step up tonight for him. And, like we said on Sunday when we were talking about this, Pacific Northwest is not an easy place for teams to go and win. Seattle, I don't know if it's a smaller gym, if Seattle is just a different beast at home. I don't know what it is, but teams struggle up there. Seattle does a really good job of defending their home court. So I'm curious to see what happens tonight. Can other guys step up for Grand Canyon? Javon Blackshear Jr., can he step up and make a difference? Can he be the player that we were thinking he was going to be coming into this season? Or is Darian Trammell going to help lead the Redhawks to another win? Who is really certainly a candidate for WAC Player of the Year right now, Trammell is.
He really is. I think he's one of the top players, maybe that top three right now with what he's doing in Seattle. I think nobody really expected him to do much. Maybe Jim Hayford did, but the rest of the WAC didn't. The big thing for me, maybe Seattle's defensive game plan is let the big guys do what they're going to do. Let's stop their guards because we have the guards to match up against their guards. With Trammell, Riley Grigsby, Aaron Nettles, and the rest of them, I predicted Seattle was going to, at least that series was going to be a split. And I still think Grand Canyon gets it done tonight. But with the way these weekend series are, you never know. I mean, the trends have been weekend splits. There hasn't been any sweeps recently that I can remember. And so I just see maybe in Stephenville there'll be a sweep. New Mexico State, will take care of business. But this series and maybe Grand Canyon series, I don't think that there will be a sweep. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel.
I agree. And, Grand Canyon knows that the pressure is mounting, too, with Utah Valley coming up right behind them. Grand Canyon 7-2 conference play, Utah Valley 7-3. I mean, Utah Valley is knocking on the doorstep. And so even though these two teams will square off, next weekend, Grand Canyon could really use a win tonight to kind of relieve some of that pressure heading into next weekend. They know it. Utah Valley knows that Grand Canyon's feeling the pressure. Utah Valley is going to want to win. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out tonight.
It's going to be a fun night of WAC hoops again. Utah Valley women knocked off UTRGV, so they swept the Vaqueros down there in Edinburgh. Big because they have to stay in that race for second place in the women's standings. New Mexico State rebounded. The women rebounded with a huge win today. So we'll see what happens tonight. GCU, Seattle, their series finale. The Lobes trying to stay with Utah Valley in that race for second place. Should be, like I said, should be a fun night. Follow us on WAC Hoops Digest. Tyler is going to be live tweeting this Utah Valley game as well.
Yes, sir.
Follow him at T_career54.
Yes, sir.
See, I got that right. Anyways, look forward to talking to y'all. Remember, send us your questions at halftime of either game that any game that you're watching, and we'll answer them at our halftime little live stream here, breakdown, and we'll see you at halftime.